ate noodles with no packet. Cereal.
All right, so the replacement for Caribou. Let's find out what she's all about.
Annoying ass kids.
Everybody say hi, Rio. Hi, Rio.
If you're like me, you've been seeing this girl all around your timeline, and you've probably been thinking the same thing. Who is she? How did she become one of the newest members of the Concrete Boys? And how did she sell out her first ever headlining show in LA? Well, this is Rio Amor, an up-and-coming LA-based DJ who's been making a name for
Oh, so she's a DJ. So they said, hey, if you're going to be in the group, you can't be a rapper because I don't want to rap. I don't want to spit and write lines for you, said Lil Yachty. And so she said, oh, you're a DJ? Come on in. You can be behind us. Behind every great Lil Yachty is a strong woman. Something like that, right?
herself in the music scene. And while it's only recently that she's had a spike in popularity, Rio's actually been DJing professionally since she was 14 years old.
How long you been DJing?
Oh.
I've been professionally DJing since I was 14.
So you started off as a kid.
Still a kid.
I'm 19.
Her dad, Corey Scoffern, is a rapper and producer who goes by the stage name The Grouch, who, on top
What?
of having a solo career, is also a part of the rap group Living Legends, which is kind of funny considering how now Rio is in her own rap group, but more on that later. It's safe to say that music played a big role in Rio's life from an early age, and you can even catch Rio in a few of her dad's older music videos. Her exposure to her dad's music most likely played a major role in her future career as a DJ. Now, this is where it gets tricky because beyond that, there isn't much information on her come up. It was pretty hard doing research for this video considering how fast she's gaining popularity, so there aren't very many interviews or articles on her yet, but this is my theory on how it most likely went down. On July 14th,
This is a theory video?
2022, Rio is seen modeling for the brand Golf for the first time, most likely being around 14 or 15 here, which is around the time she first started DJing professionally. Now, her involvement with Golf could have factored into her first major appearance as a DJ, which was at Camp Flog Gnaw 2023. Seeing as Golf falls under that Tyler the Creator umbrella, it's more than likely that she made some connections there that led to her DJing for the San Francisco East Bay Collective AG Club that year. This performance stood out above the rest as one of the best sets of the festival that year, due to the high energy nature of the set, as well as Rio's work as DJ slash hype man. After this performance, she opened the festival up the following year with her very own solo DJ set, where she had Tisa Korean as well as Jody Fontaine from AG Club perform alongside her during her set. This set was important for two reasons. One being people were starting to put a name to a face as well as being drawn in by her friendly personality. And the other reason being that she met someone at the festival that year that would eventually get her noticed by a lot more people. That being none other than Lil Yachty and the Concrete Boys, who performed on the same stage later that day. For those of you who don't
Yo, the crazy thing about LA that a lot of people want to rag on is your ability to just meet and network with people. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that will tell you that networking is complete BS and it's a lie. To some extent it is. I guess it depends where you live, right? I mean, if you live in the middle of Ohio, what, you're going to walk around and try to meet Kid Cudi or LeBron James's mom, try to link a connect? Maybe, possibly, that could work, but and the stupid thing about LA is that it's a city that a lot of people dislike and it's really expensive. So you're kind of tossing up between, do I go to this super really expensive city, eat ramen noodles and hope that I run into the celebrity person that's going to help me unlock my future? There's a lot of questions there to bear and to take into consideration, but for some people it's worth it. If you're already an LA native, I guess you have the jump on the rest of us.
No, Concrete Boys is a hip-hop collective that was formed by Lil Yachty back in 2020, which originally consisted of 5 members, which was
And also, the Concrete Boys isn't Lil Yachty's first rap group that he started, okay? Lil Yachty started about one other rap group, two, if I'm not mistaken, but one other rap group before this that completely fell apart and nobody wanted to do any work and nobody wanted to essentially climb the ladder of what it takes to be a celebrity or a strong rap group. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
of course, Lil Yachty himself, Draft Day, Camo, DC2 Trill, and Caribou. However, around the time they performed at Camp Flog Gnaw, Concrete Boys was in a bit of a rough patch, seeing as this was around the time they had dropped Caribou from the group after a very public beef between her and Lil Yachty.
Your brain is clinically imbalanced, bro. It's so crazy to me, bro, because I've given you a career. And time to time, you just disrespect me. I wrote every fucking verse you've done. And you on here lying, talking about some we bully you?
But anyways, at the festival that year, Lil Yachty had approached Rio and decided he liked her vibe and wanted to be friends.
I met Yachty back in, at Flog Gnaw 2 years ago, and he kind of just came up to me and was like, "You're cool, let's hang out." And I was like, "Sure."
And soon after they met, Lil Yachty would ask Rio to DJ for the Concrete Boys.
Started finally working together, and he asked me to DJ pretty soon after I met him.
Which is where, beyond just DJing for them, Rio would start working with the group behind the scenes on their upcoming projects. This eventually led to Rio being officially added into the Concrete Boys around 2025, alongside Lil Yachty's childhood friend, Trey Mitchell, aka Honest. being seen in the background of a lot of the interviews as well as music videos, as well as front and center on the album cover. And while she mostly keeps to herself during these appearances, she's managed to gain popularity in the online space via TikTok and Instagram, off of what I can only describe as sheer vibes and coolness, for lack of a better word. Enough so that she was able to sell out her first ever headline show.
Sheer vibes. What a time we live in where you can have a successful music career just by association and sheer vibes. Gen Z, you guys are cooked, bro.
Los Angeles, before even announcing the special guests that would be performing as well: Lil Yachty, Concrete Boys, Eris the Planet, and Malcolm Todd. Currently though, Rio's got a tour with the Concrete Boys coming up, as well as possibly her own solo stuff she's working on, which Yachty kind of let slip in an interview.
But everyone's dropping.
Yeah, no, I'm working though. Even Rio's dropping a project hopefully this year too.
Are you gonna drop a compilation?
Oh, cool. Never mind. She's not.
But that's essentially all we know so far, because like I said, there's not much information on her. It seemed a little random to me that she was added to the Concrete Boys, which is what made me look into her in the first place. Personally, I think she's a cool addition to the group, but I just hope they give her more to do, because at times it seems like she's just there and no one really acknowledges her, which
Well, if she really wanted to be in the limelight, she'd be there. Okay, she's cute enough to be, right, off of sheer vibes, right? I guess that's what we can. Well, that's what deems success these days with you guys. Sheer vibes, cute. Everyone is essentially a simp, so sheer vibes, right? To be honest with you guys, I prefer Caribou. All right, that's just me. All right, next.